Friends, how are you doing? I hope everyone is well as we can be here. Let's talk strictly about stocks here, and let's go right into open. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Big Bear, a little push today in Big Bear, but obviously stock market today rallied hard. Okay, and it rallied here because two big intersections have collided here. We've had, as of last week, job reports terrible. Okay, great, because that means, hey, we're getting rate cuts. This week we saw inflation data come out, say, hey, it's actually not that bad, which great. Now the Feds are going, okay, because if inflation was bad too, then the Feds are going to be like, we don't want to give too many rate cuts, too big a rate cut, because that makes more of a problem with inflation. So now everything has met. It's perfect. As we know right now, next week when the Feds talk, we will more than likely get some sort of rate cut, multiple rate cuts, big rate cuts, plural of that. So this is where we're at. So Thursday today, we saw a huge push, and let's go into that conversation. So Open in the last 24 hours here, not even that, has received a new CEO. Okay, so that has really shot the stock up 100%. And this wasn't just CEOs. These were people that started the company. So that this is what investors this made them feel very comfortable. Now with that, when we look at the stock here on this candlestick chart, just plain Jane, what we're dealing with here, what a push. 7, 8, 9, 10, we're working on 11. That has been knocked off today. So huge push. I hope people took profit. I took profit. I got out of Dodge today, took my gold and left for, I'm going to let the dust settle, come back, see what happens here. Now, obviously, now that this has ran, the conversation is, what do we see next? Now, after hours here, Opendoor is trading back between, $10 and $9, still really $10. I mean, it's still pushing even after hours here. And, a lot of people are saying that this is going to heavier ground, that this is going to $50, $80. For those I'm just addressing those numbers because they're out there and people are saying them. For me, I'm focusing on what is achievable and possible right now, realistic numbers. Now, obviously, I'm greedy. I'm an investor. I would love to see something like that. But at this point, I think tomorrow's Friday. I'm very curious to see where the market's going to meet here. We had a huge rally today. I mean, just many things have happened here in the market. So tomorrow we could see either just continuation of push because the market is celebrating what has happened here with the tariff numbers, with last week's job reports. I mean, everything has literally, the stars have aligned here with the market with, hey, we're getting rate cuts. The Feds will be forced to do something here. And more than likely, it's going to be some sort of nice rate cut. And the market's already pricing that in. So there's multiple possibilities of what could happen here with Open tomorrow, but like I said, I hope people took some profit. Take some profit, for God's sakes. At least get your initial, earning back in there. Because listen, even though today we still saw the CEO news, there's good news and bad news that will still follow along with this stock, because the reality check with this, it is a meme stock. Nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of money to be made in meme stocks, like we've seen here. Is there still money to be made? Yeah, I think there is, but very cautiously. So with that, like I said, so let's say some of you sold out at $9, $10, $8 today. Some people have been here since $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. Just yesterday, maybe around this time, the stock was still trading around 5 middle ground. So with that, tomorrow, it's going to be very interesting how the market is reacting. I think we could see people take profit, but the thing is too with this, I think a lot of people that sold today and took profit in Open here, and there really wasn't a lot of chance here today with Open to sell and buy back in, because the high was the low and the low was the high, every 10 minutes. We were just seeing new positions be built out here. This was a crazy straight up shot here. With that, I want to see what is the new sell-off here. And two, because this is such a heavily manipulated stock right now, which is totally fine. Totally fine. Next week is the week where I'm really going, okay, if this $8, $9 position can be held into Monday, Tuesday, and then when the Feds talk, the 16th, 17th here next week, this is really going to, we could be going into another push in the stock, but really it's hard to say right now because we've had such a dramatic push in the stock right now. I think a lot of people, obviously, in the morning, I would highly expect by 10:30, people that did not take profit already today, they're going to go, you know what, I'm going to cash out here. I'm going to take some profit. Now, obviously, I could be totally wrong about this, and if I am, that's great, because congratulations, people are about to make a lot more money. People that were buying back in at these highs today, they could be in another secondary run tomorrow. So I have $15 up here. I've had $15 here for a while because I think that's like the peak. If it can get to 15, that is a huge amount of volume money in push that has been just inundated into this stock right now. $10, I think Monday, Tuesday, I made a video said, hey, I think this has a lot of chance to go to $10 here by the end of this week, next week, and my God, it has done it. I kind of thought the CEO news was going to happen here soon, but not this soon. I mean, they really put this together. So I kind of like that too, because, talking about the inner workings of the company, the fact that they have got this together so fast with this CEO news is kind of like, okay, well, this company is actually, they're rolling along here. They're getting their stuff together. I think a lot of investors reacted like that. The long-term investors today, people that are, like, I like this company. I like this stock. I want to stay with it. This was a good reaction with investors today because, it's in two, that it was this comfort of these people know the company. These people have been with the company. This isn't just some random CEO out there who's worked for, some random company, and they're coming in here and they're probably going to change how things go and deal with them, and they're not talking, they're talking too much, all that kind of stuff. So it was a good day for Open. I mean, this is probably in the history of the stock, this is one of the biggest days it has ever had, maybe will have. So, friends, the next scenario, the next playbook that will take place here with Opendoor Technologies here, I truly believe is that tomorrow, I'm curious to see by 10:30, 11 o'clock where we're at with this. I'm not going to tell you to buy. I'm not going to tell you anything else. But all I would say is, don't be naive to think that people are not going to take profit here. Okay, this was a huge push. People are going to take their profit. But in that profit taking, that is where we're really going to find what is a bottom here. What is a bottom? Is the bottom 7? Is the bottom 8? Maybe the bottom by Monday, Tuesday could possibly be. And what I would like to see here, obviously, and this is the very selfish side that I would like to see, and I think maybe a lot of us agree with that, if we do start to see mass sell-off tomorrow into Monday, could we possibly see Opendoor here trigger a sell-off back into this $7, $8, maybe high $6 range, and then by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, going into that Fed conversation where expectation is high of what could be coming here the rest of the year, we could see this trickle back up into this $9, $10, maybe $11 range, maybe even that $15 range. So talking about that $15 range, I do think that $15 more than likely is possible this year, depending on what the Feds are going to talk about here. So with this, like I said, the stars have aligned here with this stock, with this company, because the CEO situation that's just taken place, the rate cuts are one of the biggest things that we are going to be looking at next week. How many rate cuts, how big, all that kind of stuff, because rate cuts are going to be good for this company, 100%. For people that are in here, like, I really like this company, I like this, I want to stick with them, I like them. I will say this, to me right now, this isn't a situation of like, I am building a position with this. This is profit taking. This is grab the money, go. Grab the money, go. This is what that situation is right now, because whether people want to admit this or not, and if the sooner you admit this to yourself, the sooner you're going to do better in this stock, 100%. This is a grab and go. This is a meme stock. This is very manipulated stock, and that's fine. That is great, okay? Because that's just what it is at this moment. Okay, great. Long term, and I say this because I see the comments people come in and like people get mad when I say like meme. Some people get mad when I say meme stocks. There's nothing wrong with meme stocks. I'm one of the biggest supporters of meme stocks. If I see a meme stock, if I see something going in a meme stock situation, I'm like, here we go. Because I know that I have high potential to buy and sell this at right positions, because a lot of them react with news that is being set up. And today, this was a setup. This is why I talked about this Monday, Tuesday, where I said like this has high potential to really push in later into the week, and especially the next week, because we don't know when the CEO news is coming out. And two, the Feds, if the inflation report comes out better than expected, it will do better for this stock too, because it'll say, hey, inflation is not that bad. Great. The Feds have even more reason to cut rates here. So today, inflation report, CEO report, market running high, investors pushing. Yeah, we will see what tomorrow brings with Opendoor Technologies. Congratulations, everybody that made big moves on this. This is amazing. I mean, this is just huge moves right now. So a little bit of news that came out today with Big Bear. Big Bear announces arrivals at Nashville International Airport. Essentially, Big Bear, their technology arriving in the airport, made a statement article saying, hey, this is really helping us out. So and then Kevin even sent out a we are so proud to partner with the We are so proud to partner with the Nashville Airport Authority and U.S. Customs. You can go read it. It's just, pretty blank statement here. So, I've spoken my piece on Kevin. I wish Kevin would give more to us. Talk to us, Kevin. Talk about what's going on. So, but two, this is what we've seen here this year with Big Bear, where they've pushed more into these airports. This is good. It's good. I mean, it's good news, and hopefully this continues. Right now, really, the bread and butter, the pulse of Big Bear right now is the airline deals and the defense deals. That's it. Okay, now that's not terrible, but that does spook a lot of bigger investors, where they go like, well, what happens if they lose one of those? What if the well runs dry? That is a concern. Now, too, obviously, it's no secret at this point that Big Bear has fallen how it has just taken a tumble down, the Grand Canyon here, because of those quarterlies that came out were atrocious. With that situation, there was a push today. I mean, it pushed back into $5, which I was like, that is very unexpected. That's pretty great here, that we're seeing that. So my hope right now, friends, and this is, I don't have a lot more to say. Obviously Big Bear didn't close at $5 a day, but it at least touched it. My hope is that Big Bear can at least stay around this high $4 to low $5 range. That would be great. Okay. My main concern is that Big Bear just doesn't get any more deals lately. It doesn't show more deals here soon enough to where the stock will bleed off. I don't want to see the stock get back down to $2 to $1. That is my main concern right now. Now, it's obviously going to take a lot more of sell-off and a lot more of people losing confidence in it. But two, there are concerns here that are coming up. Now, I know I sound, for someone in here who believes in Big Bear, I believe in Big Bear, but you have to report the bad news. You have to talk about the concerns. I mean, that's what we're here doing. The concerns, what I've said, and two, is that these third quarterlies that will be coming up with Big Bear, my big concern is that this will be another devastating quarterly, to where Big Bear, just doesn't meet nearly the expectation of what they're supposed to do. I mean, for God's sakes, I hope they at least break into $34 to $35 million quarterly here. They at least need something mid halfway point. They're obviously not going to achieve this $40 billion quarterly like, some people are expecting. This is a situation of they're just trying to keep their head above water to going into, hey, maybe they will achieve more of these airline deals. They will achieve more defense deals. So I'm still semi-bullish that they will continue to find more deals here. I do believe that Big Bear has a product that is wanted and needed. And obviously, as this AI boom continues to push, we will see Big Bear follow into that channel more too. But Big Bear needs some deals. It needs deals like crazy. And I'm hopeful that even one that, and that's the beauty of the situation right now, is that even if Big Bear just achieves one more significant, just nice, juicy deal, it would change everything. Even if they just got a measly 20, 30, $50 million deal spread out over 2 years, that would do enough just to get expectation closer, if not break the dam a little bit there. So, especially with everything else that they have achieved here in the last 11 months, I'm hopeful. Investors are just waiting, and the concern is how long will investors wait? But today was good. This was a win that not more was lost. We saw a push, so there was at least that. So, friends, listen, I want to wish all of you best of luck. I think there is I think, today was good. But I think, we'll see what tomorrow does. I'm very curious to see what the market's going to react to this tomorrow. But next week is the week. That is the week where I'm going. It's either going to be just a bloodbath by Thursday, Friday, where we hear about rate cuts, people take massive profit, we see the market readjust to where it feels comfortable to be, and that's the new starting point, or the Feds announce massive rate cuts, what's coming, and the market goes, okay, here's that seventh gear, and we've still got some more gears to go by the end of the year. So these are scenarios that will be taking place undoubtedly here very soon. Friends, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.